Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'll be trading again with Quarters Broker, and over here I have a very great strategy for you guys for a 1 minute and at the same time for 2 minutes trade time. Alright, so before I actually go ahead and review the strategy to you, of course I'm going to withdraw. This is my balance right here. I think let me withdraw 15k out of it. So over here let me actually take out 15. So I'm taking this to my coin. So let me select my wallet. Let me say, so right now, let me confirm this on my authenticator app. Okay, I think 0 0 0 4 0 4 1. So that's these. Let me confirm the transfer. Okay, right now I've actually what's it called, set out 15 out of my balance. Let's go back to the trading. Okay, over here I have 5,000 right there on the trading part. So guys, right now we have 5,000 balance to actually continue trading. So like I said earlier on, in this strategy I'm going to show you a perfect movement to actually enter a trade with this strategy. Like I said, this strategy will work with 1 minute, and at the same time it will work with 2 minutes, and at the same time it will work even with 3 minutes, depending on the trend of the market, which I'm going to reveal to you what's it called, this trading video. So but before we go ahead, let's actually talk about the strategy. Over here we're using our two indicators. The first indicator I'm using is called a moving average, and the second one is stochastic oscillator. So my moving average setting says actually easy. The period right here I'm using 200 in the period. Of course I'm using moving average as a EMA. All right, so I'm using it on EMA. I use green color right here, and I take the line a little bit. So that's pretty much the setting for the moving average. The second indicator is called stochastic oscillator, and of course over here this is the testing. And of course over here this is the setting. Over here on the period I use 5, so the period is 3, the small one is 3 as well. The overbought level right here I use 80. What's it called, the overbought, on the oversold I use 20, and SMA as well. So over here I actually take all the line on it so I can see it clearly. So that's pretty much all I do here. So when you're done, you hit save. So that's pretty much all they have to do. So if you're new to this broker, this is where you're definitely going to find, if you click this button, you're going to find what's it called, all the indicator listed at the right side here. So right, so that's pretty much it. And if you're new to the broker and you want to sign up, make sure you use the link in the description so that you can get what's it called, 100% bonus when you deposit, when you make your first deposit. All right, so right now I'm going to be showing you how this strategy works, but before then let me put up my currency pair real quick. Okay, right now I actually have my currency pair up right here. Okay, and I'm gonna explain in details how this strategy works in a very short period of time. Like I said, this strategy works with multiple trade time. All right, and don't forget we are doing this on 1 minute candle time frame, and I'm using this on Heineken Ashi Candle. All right, so that is where I'm actually using it. So how this strategy work? All we're just looking at it's a very simple form. When we find our indicator, when we find our market above the indicator. Okay, let me actually use this for example. Like for example, when you say that you have your candle right above your 200 moving average indicator, then and you find that you have your stochastic oscillator in an oversold position. All right, so this is actually what is called oversold position. When you say that you have your stochastic right there in the overbought position, you see that the red and the yellow candle actually meet each other, they intersect, and they're trying to pull up in the market. So if you actually enter, then we're going to enter a buy trade. All right, so for example, if we actually enter our trade right from this candle, let me take it back, right from this position, right from here, as you can see, we could actually end up in a profit even with the 1, 2, 3 minutes. All right, the same thing happened when you have your market below the moving average. Let me find a moment. Okay, I think I can actually use this. For example, when you have your what's it called, your candlestick below the 200 moving average, and of course you have your moving average in the overbought position, whereby that the green and the red actually intersect each other and they're coming down on the market, then it's definitely going to be a very great moment. For example, if you actually enter this market right here, 1, 2, this club actually end up in 1, 2, 3 minutes even. All right, so that's pretty much all what's it called, we are looking at on this strategy. But in a moment I'm definitely going to take a trade. And of course, I'm going to come over and explain in details the reason why I enter the trade, and again the reason why I use what's it called, a particular time to enter the trade. All right, so like I said, I'm using this on both 1, 2, and of course when I see a good moment, I'm going to use it on 3 minutes. But now let me analyze the market. So when I get the good moment, I'll come down and take a trade, and of course I'm going to explain in details how all of this works. Okay guys, so I found a very good moment. What I'm going to do is on 2 minutes. Alright, so a good moment here. I'm going to enter this trade real quick. So over here, this is actually a very great moment. If you actually checked out our stochastic oscillator, as you can see, our stochastic oscillator is just starting out over here. The intersection actually occurred here, and the market started moving on the uptrend on this part. So right here we have our market above the moving our 200 moving average. We actually indicate a very good point of entering, and the reason why I just entered the trade on 2 minutes is the fact that this trend is actually what's it called, the market starts going what's it called, a buy option on this point. Like what I'm actually trying to explain real quick here is the fact that the buyer just take over the market, so we need to give it a little bit enough time for it to what's it called, go up on the trend. As you can see over here, the what's it called, the seller has been taking over the market, and over here we see that the candle actually enter a trade. We see that the buyer have actually taking over at this point. So when you say that something like that happen, you need to give it enough time, like maybe 2 minutes or even 3 minutes sometime, for it to actually go up or what's it called, the trend, right? So that the buyer can actually strongly take over the market before you out of the trade. All right, so but the most important thing is to always make sure that you have your candle above what's it called, the moving average. If you are going for a buy sell, and make sure that you have a very strong confirmation which is stochastic. They must be right there in the oversold position. Intersection was happening, and you can see, and make sure that the trend is just going up on that. So when that happens, you're definitely going to have a very good moment. Another thing is always make sure that the candle you're in taking your trade on has already taken over, so which means that the buyer have already taken over the market. Make sure that the candle actually changes to green if you're going for a buy sell, or red if you're going for a sell what's it called, a sell trade. All right, so guys, I think okay, a good one there. When the money on that, as you can see, this is very okay. So like I said earlier on, as you can see, we have our stochastic right in the oversold position, but this candle actually indicate that the buyer has taken over. So you need to give it enough time so that you can see that for it to actually, for the buyer to fully take over the market. This actually really what's it called, this candle was very small candle, kind of a doji candle, because the buyer just take over the market. So you need to give it enough time so that the buyer can actually take control fully of the market. Like I say, you can do this with 3 minutes, but 2 minutes is actually okay in this kind of scenario. All right, so right now I'm analyzing again. So when I get another good moment, I'll come down and take a trade. Okay guys, a very good moment here, but like I used to say, well, let's make sure that what's it called, the market what's it called, the seller actually take over the market before you enter a trade, which is actually happening right now. As you can see, the seller is taking over the market. So right now we're gonna go ahead and enter a down trade. All right, so over here too, as you can see, we have our stochastic just intersecting. All right, as you can see, our moving average, sorry, our two line of the stochastic oscillator just happening here. The intersection actually occurred here. They're actually coming down in the trend. Over here we have our market under our 200 moving average, which is just always make sure that you have it under it if you are going for a sell option. And another thing which is very important, always make sure that you have a confirmation that that the seller is taking over the market before you actually go ahead and enter a trade. This is actually the same scenario that happened the other time. I said that you can do this for a longer period of time. When you see that the what's it called, the market, the market has just been taken over by either the seller or the buyer. All right, so with that, you got to give it enough time for you to have enough pressure for the seller to be able to push the market really down before you decide to out of the trade. Okay, I hope you understand now. So always make sure that the pressure of the buyer is very strong before you're out of the trade, and you can only do that when you have enough time to trade. So guys, this is another good moment. So let's wait and see if there's gonna be another one. So guys, this is very a simple what's it called strategy. If you only put this in mind, I only have a position for 2 minutes. Like I said, you can do this in 2 or 3 minutes, but always make sure that you do it what's it called more than 1 minute, because you need to give it a time for the seller to actually take full control of the market. It's very important. So guys, let's wait and see. This is gonna be a good one. And the next, I think I have a few seconds to close this trade right now. So let's wait. Okay, another good one there with the money on that as well. Alright. So guys, as you can see, this is really simple. So right now I'm analyzing again. So when I get another good moment, I'll come down and take a trade. Okay guys, we're having a strong downtrend here. Of course, I'm going to enter this trade. So right here, what actually happened here before for me to enter a 1 minute trade on this trade is very simple. Okay, firstly, let's talk about what happened here with our stochastic. Our stochastic accelerator here wasn't really giving us a good signal, but the reason why I actually entered this trade is the fact that I see that there's a very a very strong pull down on the market, which actually gave me that the buyer was really pushing the market down. But over here, what actually gave me that intake to enter the trade is that I see that the intersection happened, even though we don't have a sarcastic now what's it called in a good position. The intersection actually happened here, and I can see that the market is what's it called, the two line is actually dropping very strong in the oversold position. So I know that any moment I'll be having a good time. But the reason why I'm doing this in a very short period of time is that this market right here is already coming down. The pressure is very strong. So I know that any moment the flow is still definitely going to be very strong. So in this kind of market, you need to do it in a very short period of time, like 1 minute, because you can see that what's it called, as the market really dropped, it might actually pull back at the same time. All right, so when you see that the pressure in the market is very strong and the buyer is actually taking them very strong on the downtrend, you're definitely going to know that when you see a very good strong candle like this candle actually should indicate that it's a very strong candle, means that the buyer have fully taken over the market. I actually enter my trade on the second candle because I know that, sorry, I think this is where the market is start pulling down. I enter my trade right here and it is still very much strong, so I need to enter a trade in a very short period of time so that will be on the flow. Sorry guys, so that I can be on the floor in a very short period of time and then take the profit before the market start pulling back. All right, so that is just what I did here. But always make sure that you're doing this below your moving average. Make sure that your candle is actually below. You're only entering your trade when you have your candle below your moving average, and the intersection of your stochastic must happen. All right, the intersection must happen, and you must see them coming down the trend before you enter a trade. I think that's actually clear. So another one there, good one there, I'm still analyzing. So when I get another good moment, I'll come down and take a trade. And of course, I'm going to explain in details again. Okay guys, so I'm actually checking this out. As you can see, the intersection happened, but like I said, let's make sure you do this with 2 minutes because the buyer just take over the market. So let's actually put two trade on that. So guys, this is another great moment. As you can see over here, we find a doji candle. This particular candle, we call it a doji candle. When you see a cross candle like this, it's actually a doji candle. So it means that there's in this here, the buyer is already loosening out on the trend. As you can see over here, the buyer actually pushed the market to this point, but this doji candle actually make sure that the buyer is actually losing the pressure and the seller might take over in a moment. So when I see this candle, I see that the seller have already taken over, but they're just starting out. All right, they're just starting out. You need to give it enough time for them to fully take over the market. So that's just what happened here. So right here, I find my stochastic accelerator in a very strong position. The both line actually intersect. I know that any moment I'll be having a good time with this. So that's the reason why I actually enter two trade on this, because I'm so sure that very soon the buyer will be pushing down the market. All right, but always make sure that you're doing this in a longer period. So guys, let's wait and see if our analysis is right in the next, I think in the next few minutes. Right? Okay guys, so I think this is the last seconds. All right, with the money on that. So over here, the market actually tried to pull back here, but the buyer still take over on the next candle, and I actually end up in profit. Like I said, always make sure you're doing this in a longer period because you never can say, all right, the buyer just took over the market. There may not be enough pressure to actually push it down, but when you give it enough time, it will definitely gonna come down. All right, so if you know how to trade forex, you're definitely going to understand the strategy I use on this point, the reason why I actually use these indicators. Right, so I actually show you, you can do this with 3 minutes, but 2 minutes is actually okay to me, but you can actually try this with 3 minutes as well. All right, so you just need to give it enough time for the buyer to fully take over the market, let them push it down so that you can lock up into profit. If I actually use 1 minute on this trade, when this particular candle pull back, I'll definitely gonna lose that because I never give it enough time. So let's make sure that you give it enough time. And if I actually give it a 3 minute, as you can see, I'm still definitely gonna end up in the money because this is the fourth candle and this will actually enter my trade. All right, so that is what I'm talking about with this strategy. So guys, this is where I'm going to end up the video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, Telegram group, the link will be right there in the description. Make sure you join it so that you don't lose out each time I have something important to pass through on the Telegram page. I love you guys, and I'll see you on another video.